Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where after a big storm last night that's brought at least 2 trees down in my garden, I'm going to be having a look at a puzzle by the great Aard van de Wetering, the Dutch constructor. This is called 4 Scissors, for reasons even I can detect. And, you know, it's always a wonderful day when we get to do an Aard puzzle on the channel. Aard is, of course, well, he's the 9 million Sudoku man, 9 million view Sudoku man. Have I got evidence of that? I probably do. Here we go. That is the number of views that Aard's puzzle, a Sudoku with only 4 given digits, has now achieved on the channel. You can see very recently it went over 9 million. And how old is that video now? So, yeah, it's getting on for 4 years old. Incredible thing. And Aard's puzzles always massively popular with you guys because they are a lot of fun and they just show off his genius, frankly. So we'll have a look at this in a moment or two's time. Testers have had a look at it. They say it's fabulous as usual. Now, I've got loads of things to tell you about today, actually, before we kick into the solving. We're going to be having a look at, we're going to be streaming again on Thursday night at 10 p.m. UK time. This time we're going to be streaming, well, oh no, it's not that one. Well, it's Hexcells Plus. And there is another Hexcells as well called Hexcells Infinity or something. And we might have a look at that depending on how we get on with Hexcells Plus. But we'd love to have your company 10 p.m. UK time on Thursday. Now, in terms of what's going on over on Patreon, Mark is selecting the winners, I think, of the last 2 rewards today and organising the sort of roll of honour. So that should be, or they should be announced tomorrow. And I've got a little teaser for you for what's coming up on the 1st of February. Let me show you. This graphic is so cool. A Sudoku gallery from none other than Riffclown. Look at this. It's like a gallery of Sudokus. And that is coming, as I say, on the 1st of February. Look forward to that with great anticipation. Otherwise, well, now I want to talk to you about this morning's article in the Guardian newspaper by Alex Bellos, who's a friend of the channel. Now, Alex writes a sort of weekly column in the Guardian, which is always very interesting. It's always got a puzzle theme. And yesterday I mentioned Scrabblegrams because I was referring back to last Friday's video where I solved a Sudoku puzzle which had a magic square in it. And we found an amazing Scrabblegram. Well, Apio sent us an amazing Scrabblegram themed on magic squares. Anyway, Alex's article today is all about Scrabblegrams, and 2 of them are jaw-dropping, absolutely jaw-dropping. And I thought you might like to see them. So they're both by David Cohen, who is, I think, a physician over in, I want to say in Atlanta. Did I make a note of that? Yeah, in Atlanta. Look at this. So the idea of a Scrabblegram is that the words are made up of, there are 100 Scrabble tiles in a standard game of Scrabble. And if you know Scrabble, you'll know there's a couple of blanks. I think there's 4 S's, isn't there? I don't know how many E's and things there are, but you have to use exactly those 100 tiles to create something. And David came up with this. A clown jumps above a trapeze, arcs over 180 degrees, out into midair, quite unaware of his exiting billfold and keys. Which scans beautifully, makes sense, conjures an image, a poem written out of the Scrabble tiles. I think that's fabulous. Apparently that won a competition in Games magazine a few years ago. But anyway, prepare yourselves, because David also has come up with this. I sent this to Mark earlier, and I said, do you notice anything unusual about this? And if you look at this crossword, a series of crossword clues, you might realise, especially as I've been talking about Scrabblegrams, that in fact this is a Scrabblegram. These are a set of 10 cryptic crossword clues that actually are made up entirely of the 100 Scrabble tiles. Golfer rarity, we might be able to solve that. But there is one more thing, and this is the jaw-dropping thing about this. Not only are the clues a Scrabblegram, But the solution, the solution to these is also a Scrabblegram, and I will leave it to some of you out there to have a go at that yourselves and see if you can work out the answers. But that is absolutely incredible. So I was completely tickled with that, and I wanted to share it with you. So thank you very much to David for inventing it, and for Alex to bringing it to my attention. Really, really cool stuff indeed. Now, what else have I got to tell you? I've got a couple of birthdays to do. Elliot, you have turned 34 today, and I know this because your partner Sarah wrote to us. Apparently Sarah prefers the crossword content, but you prefer the Sudokus. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Many happy returns. I hope you have chocolate cake. And I actually hope you have that chocolate Guinness cake that we pictured yesterday, because that is surely the finest cake in Christendom. And also, I'm going to say, another person from Georgia in the USA. So we had David, well, being from Atlanta. I don't know whether Trey is from Atlanta, but he is from Georgia and turns 55 today. So many happy returns, Trey. Trey is expecting chocolate cake and wine today. I don't know if that's together. I suppose you could have wine if it was dessert wine. I wouldn't like normal wine with chocolate cake. I don't think they would go very well, but maybe a drop of Sauterne and a nice chocolate Guinness cake. That sounds very nice. Anyway, Trey, I hope you have a very good day today. Many, many happy returns on your birthday. Now, let us turn our attention to Ard van de Wetering's 4 scissors, and I will read you the rules of the puzzle. They are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got the digits 1 to 9, once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. And how many? I get 6 given digits today. Thank you very much, Ard. That is a bonus. I will, of course, now proceed to ignore these given digits, because for some reason my brain has filtered out its ability to see black digits in a grid, because I get given them so rarely. So it only pays attention to blue numbers nowadays. Anyway, digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. So these 2 squares, whatever you put into them, what could we put into them? 3 and 4 maybe. 3 plus 4 is 7. And that's how an arrow would work. And then it says, for the avoidance of doubt, all arrows in this puzzle are straight lines. Well, okay, that is what I would have assumed. But I suppose it is technically possible, although it would be a very, very strange way of drawing an arrow that was taking in these 2 cells to go to this point, this vertex, and then back here. And so, I mean, it's very unlikely the arrow would have a right angle in it, but I think, well, for the avoidance of doubt, there can be no doubt now, the arrows go in straight lines. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. These scissors shapes are all absolutely identical, aren't they, in the sense they've sort of got 2 cells in between the scissor handles every time. And right, so it's going to be something like, I'm trying to align, I'm trying to find rows and columns. I mean, actually that row, yeah, oh, okay. Okay. I'm already thinking that this is going to be some sort of set trick, actually, because those cells are very, very... When I highlight... What I was trying to do... Sorry, I'm sort of mumbling. What I was trying to do was to look at, for example, this row and note that the digits on the scissors all had to be different. So I could see that these scissor cells had to add up to 10. Then I was trying to say, okay, well, these scissor cells, for example, couldn't add up to 10. Because they can't include a 2, so the minimum these could be would be 13 with 1, 3, 4, 5. But that got me noticing that there is a sort of Fistomaphelian pattern to these scissors shapes, in the sense that they all occupy 2 by 2 boxes. So I do wonder if this is some sort of, what's it going to be, inverted Fistomaphel ring or something. So the Fistomaphel ring, of course, those of you who enjoy Numberphile might know this, but there is a theorem in Sudoku named after the great setter Fistomaphel. that says that those 16 blue digits are identical to the orange 2x2s in the corner of any Sudoku puzzle. And that is true. You can try that out for yourselves if you've not seen it before. And we've proved it in many videos, and there is a recent number file video where we talk about that. But what we've got here is something... Well, obviously these 2x2s are not in the corner, but I am aware that you can create different versions of Fistamafell by taking different sets, and they often have 2x2s in them, I think. But the other thought here is that where you get set tricks involving arrow cells, the thing you often want to do is to get the circles into a different set, because then you can cancel them out. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is, this isn't going to quite work, but let's just have a look at well, what I want to do. Oh, actually, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to somehow get a complete set of the digits 1 to 9 for each of these. Let's take all of these columns. This isn't going to be quite right, I don't think, because as I do this, I'm noticing that I could equally well have taken 4 rows, and I'm going to get the same answer here in both situations. But just to show you what I was thinking, this is clearly 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 in the green cells, because each column must, in the complete solution to the puzzle, have the digits 1 to 9 once each in them. So we can define the 4 complete columns of the Sudoku as 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. Now, if I highlight that row, and that row in a different colour, the orange cells are 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So the green set of digits and the orange set of digits are not equal. They differ by 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. But the point I wanted to make is, well, there are 2 points, I suppose, that drop out of this. The first point is, what would happen if we removed this 2 from both sets? So let's say we remove it from the orange set and we remove it from the green set. What could we say about what's left in green and what's left in orange? Well, because we've removed the same thing from both sets, the difference between the 2 sets is still 1 complete set of the digits 1 to 9, isn't it? So we had 4 complete sets of the digits 1 to 9 in green, we had 3 complete sets in orange. If I remove a 2 from both sets, I'm removing the same thing, so the difference between the sets must remain consistent. Now obviously I could remove this cell's contents as well. If I remove that cell's contents from both sets, the difference between the sets is still the same, and I can do that for all of these squares. But that wasn't actually what I wanted to tell you. What I was thinking about as we were looking at the grid was that one trick you can do with arrows, so we know the difference between green and orange at this point is 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. So we know the sum of all the digits in green, is 45 more than the sum of all the digits in orange. Why do I pick 45 out of the air? Many of you will know this if you've been watching the channel for a while. Those of you who haven't watched the channel for a while may not be aware that there is a secret in Sudoku, and it's something I only tell my very favourite people, but if you're watching this video still, you're definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret is that any complete column, row or box of a Sudoku, because of the rules of Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, and if you add up those digits you get 45. So actually, because we know that green is 1 set of the digits 1 to 9 bigger than orange, we know the sum of green must be 45 exactly more than the sum of orange. Now, why am I starting to talk about sums now? Well, it's because of the arrows. This is the whole, sorry, this has been a very long-winded way of getting to what I wanted to say, which is that these two cells are in the green set, and they have a sum. Let's say it's x. So if I was to remove these from the green set, and I was to remove this from the orange set, which because of the rules, is the sum of those two digits, then we can say that still the difference between the green, what's left in green and what's left in orange, is still 45. So I'll do it for this one as well. The difference must still be 45. I'll do it for all of them. And this is what I wanted to do. But I am suspicious this is not quite right because of the problem that we could have because we could have taken the four rows of the Sudoku and compared it to these columns, and we'd have actually ended up with a rotation of this shape. And I've not seen set before where you can do it two ways round. Okay, but where are we now? We're in a position where we've got. What have we got? We've got 8 cells in green, and we know that the 8 cells in green add up to 45 more than the 7 cells that we've got in orange. So the maximum we could have in green then, if we maxed out the value of green, we'd have 6, 7, 8, 9, wouldn't we? In each of these triples. 6, 7, 8 and 9 add up to 30. So the maximum that we can make green add up to is 60. And we know that therefore, if we take 45 from that, the absolute maximum that we can make orange add up to is 15. That's it. That's it. Okay, we've done it. We've done it, and that is very odd. That is very odd. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm clear as to why I'm so surprised by that. But also let's just deal with why we've done it. Well, what is the minimum sum of the orange squares? Well, the minimum I could make those 3 digits is a 1, 2, 3 triple. The minimum I could make these 3 digits is a 1, 2, 3 triple, and that square in the middle of the grid can't be a 1 or a 2. So the minimum that can be is a 3. And 1, 2, 3 is 6. Another 1, 2, 3 is another 6. That's 12. Plus 3 is 15. And we worked out that was the absolute max. That was the maximum size we could possibly put in to orange. And that was only allowed if we absolutely maxed out green. So we have found the equilibrium of the puzzle. But the thing that I'm intrigued about, I'm going to leave... This is weird. It's actually weird because... Or maybe... This is what Ard does. Ard just sort of, he shows you a piece of his brain and you just go, what? That's completely insane. This 2, 3 here is really interesting because I think that means this is a 1. Yeah, and it sort of works by Sudoku as well. So, sorry, and I'm probably not being very articulate here, but what I want to show you is what would have happened if I'd chosen the sets differently at the start. So what would have happened if I'd taken 4 rows of this Sudoku, let's make those blue, and I'd compared those 4 rows with these columns, which I'll make, to pick a good colour, no, grey's probably not, black, is that suitably distinct? That's not bad, is it? Well, then we could have, obviously, taken out the common cells. We could have cancelled the arrows down, just as we did before. Like that. And we would have ended up where the black cells And you can see it's exactly the same disposition of digits as the orange cells, just twisted through 90 degrees. The black cells would plus 45 would equal the blue cells. And the logic would be identical. So the minimum we could put in the black cells would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and a 3 in the middle for 15. And therefore, these squares need to add up to at least 60 once we add the 45 in. And the most they can add up to is 60 if we make them all 6, 7, 8s and 9s. So we end up with this weird thing where the sets sort of work both ways round. And it wouldn't have mattered which one I'd chosen, although it's slightly easier to see in this version, in the one with the black digits, that because this has to be a 1, 2, 3 triple, that has to be a 1. But the weird thing about that is that in this column, well, if we ask where 1 goes in the top row, and we don't think about the black digits at all, you can see there's a 1, 2, 3 triple here and a 1, 2, 3 triple here. So 1 cannot go in those squares, so it was forced into there anyway. So there's a weird geometric game going on here, and it's sort of rotationally symmetrical, but it's quite beautiful. So we can immediately say this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. We can immediately say that we've got 4s and 5s in the corners, which actually I can now see I can resolve that because there's a 5 here. So that's 4, that's 4, that's 5 by Sudoku. This is 3 in the middle of the grid, so these are not 3. That's a 1 and a 2 pair, so that is 3. So that's not 3. That's not 3. That's a 1, 2 pair, so that is 3. So this is not 3. This is not 3. So this is 3. There's a 2 looking down here, so that's a 1. That's a 2. Oh, that's probably as far as we can take this this ludicrousness. But that was very, very cool. Right. 2. Seize that one. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, okay, so we've gone a bit further. 1 in box 2 by Sudoku. In fact, these colours might now not be such a good idea. I think they've served their purpose, to be honest. So we'll Control A, get rid of the colours. Whoa, feels a bit bare now. But I just got this 1 by Sudoku. These squares and these squares. When you have 4 1s pointing at a box, you can always put the 1 in that box. How many 1s have we got altogether? Quite a few. There's a 1 in one of these. There's a 1 in one of those. We can't put 1 here, can we? Because this would have to be a 0. So I think there's a 1 in one of 3 places in box 9. I can place 2 by Sudoku in box 3. How many 2s have we got? Several. Oh, I thought we were going to get another one there, but no. What about 2 in one of those squares? 2 in the middle box is on an arrow tip. I might as well pencil mark that. Okay. Don't know if I can do better than that. That can't be a 2, because if that's 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and that cannot be a 4 by Sudoku. So, okay, so 2 is in one of those 2 squares, so it's not there. So this is a 2 now. It's a free 2 that we've earned. We can get a free 3 into that square by Sudoku. I can get a 3 again. There's a 3 here. So how many 3s have we got? Lots. Lots and lots. 3 is in one of those 2. 3 is in one of these 2. 4s, let's try that. We've got... No, 5s. 5 we can put into one of those. Bobbins. I thought we might be able to rule a 5 out of this square, But look, actually we can put a 3 on the tip of that arrow, so that can work. What other? We've got a given 6, but we know very little about... In fact, we know incredibly little about the high digits. Oh, no, that can be a 3. I was thinking whether that could be a 3 and this would be a 4, but no, that's fine. I'm almost wondering whether what I'm supposed to do here is to highlight the high digits. That can't be a 6. I might do that, actually. I might do that. Just try and keep track. So high digits will make them hot like the sun and will make them orange. Now, is that of any value at all? Because I sort of feel like a lot of these circles are going to have high digits. That might not be exactly true. Oh, no, I was going to say... It looked to me for a moment like this could be a high digit, but I wasn't looking at the pencil marked 1. I was looking at the givens. Come on, Ard, what have you done here? Let's try... Haven't got anything. Well, that digit is at least a 6, so that's orange. That's got to be orange. Actually, is that even... Yeah, that cannot be 1, so it must be greater than 5, so that's definitely an orange digit. Sorry, I realise I've just stopped talking. I'm just trying to understand what, if anything, we can do with this. That can't be a 1, because that would make this arrow add up to 2, so that's got to be relatively... Oh, I see. Right, so this is where we look next. Where is 4 in this box? And I don't think I can put 4 on the arrow at all, because if this is 4, that has to be 5, which it's not allowed to be. And if this is 4, that has to be 3, which it's not allowed to be. So there's a 1-4 pair in box 9. Good grief. Right, so that means... Okay, that means those two squares are orange by our newfound orange chromatic guide that we've come across. So now this digit must be lower than this digit because they differ by 1, with this being the higher digit because it's the sum. So that's got to be 6, 7, 8. That's 7, 8 or 9. I've got 3 oranges in column 7 and 3 oranges in row 7. Very few oranges actually in column 8. Have I done everything I'm meant to do with... Right, okay. Chapeau, that is absolutely gorgeous. Right, we can resolve the 3s in the grid. We've got 7 3s placed, and you can see we've got an X-wing of 3s into these squares here. Well, ask if that could be a 3. And the answer is no, for a quite gorgeous reason. If that's a 3, you have to put a 3 here on the other side. And now look. Both of the arrow circles have to be 6, and that won't work because these are in the same row of the Sudoku. Isn't that gorgeous? So in fact, these are 3s. Now, actually, I better get rid of my green, I think. So if these are 3s, these are not 3s. That means that's a 4 by arithmetic. There's a 4 up here. Can that be 4? Yeah, probably it can actually. Where is 4? Oh, this is good. This is good. Where is 4? In fact, there's a 5 there as well, I've just seen. 2 plus 3 is 5. But where is 4 in this box? Oh, look, this is, okay, this is very cool. This 4 looks sideways in one of these 2 squares in box number 8. That is resolving this as a 1. That's resolving that as a 4. Pencil marker 4. The 1 must come up here and work. The 1 must go over here and work. That can't be a 2 now, because 1 plus 2 would equal 3, which can't go in an orange square. This is something we've learned. So that's a 2 in the middle box. Now, that's orange for certain, because the minimum I'm adding to 2 is 4. So that's got to be orange. Oh, I see. Yeah, we could have seen that anyway. One of these has to be orange, because there need to be 4 oranges in any box of the Sudoku. Right. So did we get any other bonuses from this? We got some 5s. 5 has to be in one of those squares. That's sort of the symmetrical logic to the 4 being in one of these squares. Right. So 5 is placed in box number 3. This is now a 4-5 pair, which is lovely, because if that's a 4-5 pair, these 2 must both be orange. We sort of we keep discovering things we already knew by another means. Can that be a 4? That would be a 7. 7 or 8 is what that is exactly. Which is probably in matters somehow. What about... I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't quite see what I have to do here. That square is orange. From this row. Oh, for goodness sake. Look, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quintuple in column 5, so these are all orange. Now that's good, because now I can see in row 6 I've got 4 oranges, which means the other digits have to be 2. These have to be 2, 4 and 5 in some order. So which one of these is 2? It's not these 2, so that's a 2. Okay. Yes, that was available in another way, wasn't it? Okay, so this is a 4-5 pair. And that one can't be 4, because 1 plus 4 is 5, and there's a 5 there. So this one is 5, that's 4. This is adding up to 7. These are not 7 anymore. This is now 8. Oh, this is gorgeous, isn't it? So by maths we get all this resolved. Where is 4 in the middle box? It can't go in an orange square. Yeah, see, it's weird that I do it like that rather than by Sudoku with the 4 here, but that is what I was doing. Sorry, that is just my brain being strange as usual. Okay, this is 5 now by Sudoku. How many 5s have we got? In a moment, once I put that one in, we'll have all of them. How many 4s have we got? Oh, not nearly. Oh, well, we can get that one. How many 4s have we got now? All of them, once I put that one in. So that's definitely orange. That's definitely orange. Have we just got oranges left to put in? I think a quick scan of the grid suggests that we've got all the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s and 5s. I might be wrong about that, but that feels close to being true. Okay, so what's this digit then? That digit is at least 6. I'm not sure. It might be able to be 6. It's either 6 or 7, because this can't be greater than 9. Oh, 5 plus 1 is equal to 6, so that is 6. So this is 7, 8 or 9. There's a 7, 8, 9 triple in this column, so that's got to be the 6. That's got to be 8 by mathematics. This is just, it's sensational, isn't it? It is just sensational, as always. This is now a 7-9 pair, 7-9 here. This is an 8. Let's just try not to be flippant with our pencil marking. That's orange, so I needed to put that into being orange. That's 7, 8 or 9. Oh, look at that digit. That's 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 or 9, but it sees 6, 7 and 8, so that's 9. Which means that's 6, I suppose, because that sees 7 and 8. So this is a 7-8 pair in the column. This is now a 9 by Sudoku, so that must be a 6 by the power of this method. That's a 7, 8, 9 triple, so that's a 6. I think I probably need to just focus on 6s. Actually, that doesn't work, does it? I'm going to have an X-wing of 6s left, I can now see. That can't be 8. So this square is a 7 or a 9. Aha! But we need an even digit here, don't we? Because this is odd and this is odd, so that's got to be even because they differ by 1. So that's 8. That's not 8. This is a 7-9 pair, so that's 8. This is 7, 8 or 9. And is there a scissor that I haven't availed myself of? Oh, there's a 9 here. That's easier. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. That's a 9. That's a 9. That's a 7. So that's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 9. Why I didn't do the mathematics? Well, I have no idea. This is a 9 by Sudoku. This might be done, actually. It feels like it's unwinding with a little bit of alacrity. Yeah, that's lovely. There we go. So that's 7 and that's 9. What a brilliant puzzle. That's got to be orange. Just saw a rogue, unoranged 6. Let's double check. So if I know what will happen. I will miss a high digit. And that's half the comments will be about that. Let's see if it's right. No. Oh. Okay, it might be right. Looks good as far as I can tell. Puzzle doesn't include solution. Okay, yes, I loved the puzzle. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so what I will do is I will have to stare at this and see whether I think it's correct. I felt like we did it logically, so I hope it's correct. I mean, let's just revisit this for a couple of seconds because it's so clever. It's so clever. The break-in, I really like the fact that it sort of was shouting at me a bit with the 2x2s areas of arrows, but it felt I didn't think this could work. Because I could see straight away I could have taken the other version, and I couldn't see how 2 sets would work. But now as I'm staring at it more, I'm now realising that actually each scissor is just a rotation around 90 degrees, isn't it, of all the other scissors. So there was a lot of symmetry in this puzzle that I didn't appreciate. That's brilliant. I mean, it's classic art. And then sort of the pièce de résistance was this 3 arrangement where you couldn't have the 3s on the same arrow because it would have caused the circles to be the same. That's brilliant. This is why he's the 9 million view man. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.